Hello, I'm Christopher Hellman with National Priorities Project, and today's phrase that pays is Social Security Payroll Tax Rollback. Well, what exactly does that mean? If you're like me and you collect a paycheck, every pay period, when you get your paycheck, you'll see something on it that says FICA. That's the Federal Insurance Contributions Act, and what that is the amount of money that you and your employer contribute to the Social Security and Medicare program each year. Right now, we contribute the equivalent of 12.4% of our salaries to the Social Security program, and that contribution is split evenly between employees paying 6.2% and employers also paying 6.2%. On Medicare, the contribution is 2.9%, and that also has that same 50-50% split between employees and employers. What happened last year, in an effort to stimulate the economy and put money into the pockets of working Americans, was Congress and the administration agreed to roll back the employee contribution from 6.2% down to 4.2%, a savings of 2% that went directly into the pockets of employees in an effort to stimulate economic activity. The employer contribution stayed the same at 6.2%. Now this is where we are right now, and this provision is set to expire at the end of the year. Our contributions would go back to that original 6.2%. Both Democrats and Republicans agree that this is something that they probably want to do. The problem is they're not sure how they want to pay for it, and there's a disagreement about that. In addition, Democrats in the Senate have proposed both a further rollback of the employee portion down to 3.1%, putting an additional 1% of income into our pockets, and expanding the benefit to employers, rolling their contribution back to 3.1% as well, but targeting it at small businesses only. It's businesses with payrolls of under $5 million. That's an effort to keep small businesses active, maybe help them bring people onto the payroll, or at the very least keep them from laying people off as we continue to experience high levels of unemployment. The problem, as I indicated, is how do you want to pay for it? Democrats have indicated that the way they want to pay for either this or this is by a surtax on millionaires, making wealthiest Americans pay a little bit more in their taxes, while the Republicans are focused on the idea of cutting spending for existing programs. The two have not been able to reach agreement on that, and this is something you'll be hearing a lot about between now and the end of the year as they decide whether or not this is something they can afford to extend. And working Americans will be paying very close attention to the outcome of those discussions.